All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. This is Catherine Waddell of Dreams Woven Support Network.org. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule tonight to spend it with me. This call tonight is going to be in two parts, and we're going to cover them in an hour or less. I will be respectful of your time because I value you taking time out of your schedule to be with me. Our topics tonight will be balancing your schedule. That's going to be the first topic we cover. And the second topic is going to be advertising your dream. Throughout the call tonight, you will receive some other emails, and you should have received some emails leading up to the call tonight, getting a testimonial from some of the people who have been a part of Dreams Woven. You will get one tonight, and you should get one tomorrow morning as well. But tonight, you're going to get a lot of great tools that you can use in your business, networking opportunities. There is a networking opportunity at Dreams Woven Support Network.org, which is a social media site designed just for people who are pursuing their passion. And you can network with people, make friends with people, do business with people. It's just for that sole purpose, okay? Throughout the call, you're going to want to take notes. Make sure that you are in a quiet location so that you will not be interrupted for the next hour that we spend with each other, okay? All right, and we will have a question and answer portion for the call tonight, so make sure you take notes along the way so that when it's time to ask questions, you don't forget the question you wanted to ask. Cool? All righty. And we're not doing the group chat on tonight. I confused a couple of people earlier today, so we'll leave that down for this time around. As we continue to meet for these calls, we will have a group chat. So don't be shy when it's time to ask questions. You can virtually raise your hand and give just your first name and ask whatever question you have. I work with people one-on-one as well as in a group setting, and what I noticed a lot of times, people have trouble balancing their schedule. They're saying yes to everything. They're answering their phone. They're responding to every text right away, every bell that rings, every ding that goes off. If it's a social media update or an email, they're responding to everything, and they're feeling scattered. And one of the hardest things I've noticed is people, when I tell them they're going to need to pick one thing to focus on. And we have a lot of legitimate things that cry out to us, but I want to put this on your mind. What I'm about to tell you is that we have a lot of things that are urgent, but they're not emergencies, like no one's dying. And if they were dying, chances are we're not the ones that need to be the expert to help them because we're so scattered. We need to send them to the emergency room, or we need to have the fire department come pick them up, or the medics, if it's a true emergency, right? But otherwise, it's something urgent, and as mothers, as parents, we want to be there. You know, if the school calls about my kid, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to seem like a bad parent. We have all of these things we put on ourselves. Reality check. There's a lot of room in your schedule for you to really relax and for you to have a schedule that doesn't cry out so much to you. Yes, I'm talking as a mother who has raised 3 kids, helped raise my 3 younger siblings, and it was a loud and busy house, and we did lots of things. And not having a schedule that worked like a well-oiled machine would have driven us nuts, okay? The kids were in activities, but we had to set boundaries. The kids could not walk up to me and say, hey, right now I need you to sign this, or we have this last-minute science project of the solar system that we have to complete by tomorrow. It's a lot of things they can't do, and teaching our families to be responsible for themselves in some ways is a good part of us getting the chaos out of our schedule. Easier said than done, yes, but it can be done. And there's a nice way to tell people, no, I can't do that right now. For example, as a business owner, if I'm focused on a project and my phone rings and I answer it, I lose focus, and now I'm doing whatever is coming through on that phone. I'm answering a question, probably chit-chatting with a friend, I'm responding to the kid's school, my spouse's call, whatever the situation is, whatever the scenario is you put yourself in it, your mom call, whatever. Now you're no longer focused on your project, and it's probably not going to get done because you're sidetracked, right? take that same scenario. You focus on something and the phone rings, but your ringer is off. And for me, I have to turn my phone face down simply because I want to make sure everybody can hear me. I have to make sure my phone is face down because if I see it light up, I'm going to want to respond to it. So I'm talking from experience of the struggles of trying to do too much. On my computer, if I have more than 3 tabs up, I'm overwhelmed. And Facebook cannot be one of those tabs if I'm not working on Facebook, because I'm going to chit-chat with a friend, I'm going to post a funny picture, I'm going to respond to a funny picture. I'm not going to be working. If my kids' school call, listen, I have a 2-hour window in which to respond, and if they are sick at school, there's a protocol at the school for them to take care of my child before I get there. I'm going to give you an extreme example. If my child has an allergic reaction at school and needs to be sent to the hospital, them calling me and me coming to the school before we take my kid to the hospital is probably not the way I want to have things happen. They're going to let me know, because of the protocol we fill out in the beginning of the year, which hospital to take my child to in the event of an emergency, and I'm going to meet them at the hospital. Okay? So a 2-hour window, and if you need to make it an hour window, if you have very sick children or very sick family members, but once every hour, but you have a window of time where you're uninterrupted, okay? So, again, it's not an emergency. Chances are it's urgent. If it's an emergency, we can't help them if we're scattered, and we can't help them because we're not 911. And I think that's the hardest thing I've ever had to tell any of the people that I've worked with one-on-one, because you want to be so connected. A lot of us are guilty of being on social media on our phone and our computer, and they're sitting next to each other. So you look at something through your phone on Facebook, then you go to your computer and look on Facebook. Then you look on your phone for email, then you look on your computer for that same email. And we're actually driving ourselves crazy doing that. And when you're not focused and when you're that unbalanced, by the end of your day, you're feeling like, oh, I've done so much today, but I haven't been productive. I haven't completed one task. And the best way to do that is not to allow yourself to have more than 3 major things you need to do that day. For example, if you have doctor's appointments, I know if you have more than 2 children, you're going to want to try to cram all of the doctor's appointments in on the same day. And that is going to take up a whole day, which means you can't do anything else. So realistically understand, if I'm taking all the kids to the doctor today, I don't need to tell my job I'm coming in. I don't need to promise to take a friend anywhere or meet them for lunch. I don't need to make a hair appointment on that day. And I certainly, if I have a business, I don't need to try to take any appointments or work on anything related to my business if that's the day I'm taking the kids to the doctor. Now, if there's a big project that I need to focus on for a client, I'm building a website or I'm doing a coaching call, I cannot be answering a text message while I'm doing a coaching call for sure, because they want my undivided attention. If I'm on social media, that's going to distract from the web design. So take it into consideration what it is that you do with your business and your family, and you have to really look at what must be done on a day-to-day basis. For those of us that are entrepreneurs, your mind is constantly going and creating and starting and stopping, and that would be a good idea, and if I could do this, that would be great. The problem is they're underdeveloped, and we put them on our list, and we decide that they must be done. No, maybe it works for a friend, but it does not have to be done in your world. It could be done. Some of you may have heard of a list, the ABCs. The A's are the things that have to be done today. The kids have to get on the school bus or have to be dropped off to school Monday through Friday, okay? That's a must-do kind of thing. However, they could have their lunch packed or they could eat lunch at school. They have a choice. That's a second priority kind of thing. They need to eat lunch, but how is it going to come? Are they going to buy lunch at school or are they going to pack it at home, okay? Giving your family and your friends the boundaries. If your office is at home, a lot of times people think, oh, you're at home, you can do XYZ, you can babysit, you can run errands, you're available, you're free, and you're not. You're working. And some of the things that have helped me is using my voicemail and my email response. You've seen it. You send an email and you get an autoresponder that says, someone from our office will contact you within 24 to 48 hours, right? Okay. You put that on your email, and you know that that's going out. It's automatically set. There's no pressure on your end to have to respond within 2 minutes to that email, okay? they know that someone from your office is going to get back to them 24 to 48 hours. So if they bug you, listen, someone from my office is going to get back to you 24 to 48 hours. I do not care if you're the only one in your office. Someone from our office will get back to you in 24 to 48 hours, and you don't have an attitude about it. It's a script. You just say it, and they say, oh, okay, because you're just reaffirming. They may have missed the autoresponder. They may have thought, well, if I just call and get someone on the phone, they'll respond to me. And this is the thing. If they email you, then call you, this is the other catch-all. You're going to use your voicemail. Your voicemail is going to say, hello, this is Susie Smith. Fill in your name, and of www.mybusiness.com. And we're not available right now, but we do check our voicemails every 2 hours. So someone will get back to you at that point, okay? Even if your business requires you to answer the phone, look at the scenario. You're in front of a client and the phone rings. Do you tell the client in front of you that they're less important because you need to answer the phone? You do not. You do not answer the phone while you're with that client because you want to give them your undivided attention. You are not only serving the client in front of you, but you want them to refer people to you by telling others how good you were with customer service, how attentive you were. You don't want them to go back and tell people, oh, she's very busy. She's good at what she does, but she's very busy. Her phone is constantly going off, because they're not going to know your phone is constantly going off because your phone is going to be on silent. And you're not going to have it where they can see it lighten up. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. No, you are going to set boundaries, and other people will begin to respect those boundaries. Mommy can't come to your school, so you're going to have to remember your science project when you leave the house, or you will get the consequence of getting a lower grade if the teacher takes it later. And that may be hard, and that may make some parents cringe and feel like bad parents, but if you do not teach your family how to respect your boundaries with your business, one day you're going to look up and the account is going to be in a negative because you're not putting in any work. You're not doing any work that generates money because you can't complete a task. And the same thing with your spouse. If your spouse is at work, you calling them all day is probably a distraction. The same thing with your business at home. Look, dear, I work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., but I'm at home, and I can't be on the phone with you running errands or bringing you lunch and doing all of these things because it's a distraction to my work. And when we take our work seriously, others will too. The same thing with our mothers, our fathers. Yes, we love our parents. I will have to talk with you when I'm available. And the phone, again, you don't hear the phone going off because you're focused on a task. Pick 3 things to do. I talked with one client recently, and she needed to do an exercise per day, a voice exercise. She needed to work on her speaking engagement website that she was putting together, and she also needs to work on her social media. Anybody knows that those tasks, especially those last 2, if you don't have voice lessons, you don't know, but the last 2, working on the website and social media, is common to the average business. And those are huge tasks because you want to keep fresh, engaging content on it every day. How do you think of all this stuff? You're going to have to sit down and brainstorm, and if you can get an assistant to take that task on for you, how do you instruct them, okay? So those are 3 big tasks that this person had to work on. And I said, okay, do not add another thing to your plate. And they wanted to, express to me how many things and how many ideas they have. And I said, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. But you need to pick a day that you're going to, do brainstorming and have that be the same day every week if Monday is your day to brainstorm. But you have to tell your schedule, what you're going to do. I'm going to work on social media for 30 minutes a day. I'm going to work on the website for 30 minutes a day. I'm going to do my voice lessons for 15 minutes. You have it marked out that way, just like you would be on a 9 to 5. And see, the beauty of being your own boss is just that you get to direct the day. You can tell yourself what to do and when to do it. The not so beautiful part is that you can structure your day the way you want to. There's nobody telling you what to do and when to do it, okay? So placing no more than 3 things on your schedule, using your phone and your email as a way to set parameters so that the people who are sending you emails and the people who are calling you on your phone and getting your voicemail, they hear the message, they see the message that she or he will get back to me in a matter of time, Don't say immediately, say 2 hours. I'm going to check my voicemail in 2 hours. But use those tools that we have. If you have an autoresponder for your text message, some people are savvy like that. Use those things. Listen, I'm not available right now, but I will check my text messages. I think I've seen that when people are driving. They say, I received your text, but I'm driving right now, so I will respond when it's safe to respond. So use those tools and take some of the pressure off of yourself. You do not have to respond to everything. And I think once we realize we don't have to respond to everything right away like it's an emergency, you will see your schedule begin to balance out a lot. When you stop putting everything as a fire priority, it's just, I got to do it now, because you cannot do it all and keep your mind together. Because what happens when we're frazzled, we have short tempers, we snap at people, we have an attitude, we feel resentful that so many people are sucking the life out of us. But they're doing it because we give them permission to do it. And there's a nice way to say no. Say, for example, someone calls you in the middle of you working with another person. If you answer that phone, the person in front of you is not getting your full attention, and now the person on the phone is taken away from that attention as well. Well, you let that person know, I didn't answer the phone because I wanted to give the person in front of me or the project in front of me my undivided attention, and I know that you would have liked for me to do that with you too, so I only respond when I'm available to give you my undivided attention. So I'm glad that you left me a voice message so I would know what it is you wanted, so when I called you back, I could give you, my undivided attention and have an efficient interaction with you. And I think they would very much appreciate that. In fact, I know so, because it's happened. I've had people joke with me in the beginning, oh, you never answer your phone anymore. You got this phone and you don't answer it and it's always off. But when I explained to them, I was working on a project and I wanted to be able to give you my undivided attention. And, sometimes we have friends we like to really chat it up with, and I know if I would have talked to you at that point, I wouldn't have finished that project, and I wanted to talk to you and I needed to finish that project. I think it takes the pressure off of you, and it doesn't make that person feel like they're less important in your life. They're not. Just at that moment, you can't get to them. Okay, another example, you work with people, you have an assistant, you have staff, and they may want to pop in and ask questions. Set appointments with your staff. If you're working with someone on your web, if someone's doing your social media, if someone's checking your email, if someone is taking notes for you, whatever their assignment is with you, say, listen, Susie, Jack, I would like to meet with you and we can go over, the web design. But can we do that at 11:30 and we spend 11:30 to 12 together doing that? That way I have my questions prepared, you have your questions prepared, and it can be an efficient time. Listen, it may sound like a lot of work at first, going in prepared, having questions already, but you can get a lot done in 15 to 30 minutes if you're prepared. If you go in not guessing and hem-hawing and figuring it out, you say, listen, this is the color scheme I want. Here are some examples of other websites I've seen that I like. I would like for you to pull from that. And you're not rushing when you talk, but it's an efficient time together. And when you're done with that person, you need to talk with the next person by appointment only. You meet someone today, and they say, listen, I want to call you a little bit later today. The answer is no. I don't care if you have nothing going on. You didn't have anything planned. Don't take a last-minute appointment. Oh, we'll talk a little bit later today. No, because you're not prepared. You don't have any questions, and you're not going to be able to stick to a time frame because you're still figuring out, why are we meeting? What are we doing? Well, okay, what do you want? And you need to be able to assess the situation to see if it's something that's going to take a little bit more time. For me, I can guarantee that I can do a 15-minute chat with any of you because I already know when I go in, I'm going to ask you a few questions. What is your business or business idea? What are your goals? And if you haven't thought about your goals, we will have to have a follow-up call, but we will not exceed that 15-minute time because, one, I respect your time, two, I respect my time, okay? And we're going to talk about those things, and I'm going to leave you with the homework assignment that I give everybody. For your business idea or business, give me 8 ways on our next time that we talk that you can make money with what you're doing. And the second part of that assignment is give me 8 ways to market those ways to make money. Very simple conversation. I'm getting to know people. I don't know if you have kids, if you're married, because in your conversation you're going to share all of those things. 15 minutes, and we're off the phone, and you're back to your life, and you have some things to think about. And we have committed to the follow-up conversation because you're going to tell me when the next time is good for us to follow up. you're going to want to make sure that you've completed what we've talked about because that's what we've agreed upon. You don't want to waste your time and you don't want to waste my time, and I respect that. But balancing your schedule is going to be with you using some things that you already paid for or you already have access to, email, voicemail, text message, and even with Facebook. If you're doing work, don't have the Facebook tab up. Don't fool yourself. I don't fool myself. When I have my Facebook tab up and I am not scheduling social media stuff, I'm on there playing, period. We like interacting with our friends. It makes us feel, warm, fuzzy, comfy, comfortable, whatever, but it doesn't make us any money if we're not on there working. So if you're working on something, close social media completely. Don't have it open because you say, okay, well, I'll minimize it, and then no, because you're going to hear it. You're going to hear an alert, and then you're going to go over there to it. Close all social media down until a designated time. Maybe at lunch you'll spend that time on social media. Unless your business is social media, you don't need to have it up because it's going to be a distraction. For emails, unless you know that you're expecting an email from somebody during the day, respond to your emails at nighttime while you're flipping your feet and watching TV with your family, okay? That's something quiet, something that's that just really you can just do that. Read, glance, respond, okay? And if you can have any of your clients to submit their questions or their inquiries to you, have them do that. You have 24 hours to get back to them. They can submit their questions or their concerns to you, and you get back to them. It's not an emergency. It may be urgent, but it's not an emergency, okay? I want to stop for a moment. I'm going to unmute everyone. And if you have any questions, there we go. I think I've unmuted everyone. You can press star 6 if you're not unmuted, but if you have any questions or comments about this first part of the call, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Don't be shy because I know that people have questions about this topic because it keeps coming up with me, and I said it's a good one for me to share with the group. Okay? So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and share with me now. Say your first name and give me your question or comment. Let's see if I unmuted everybody. I don't hear anything. I wonder if I unmuted everybody. I unmuted me. Huh. Press star 6 to unmute yourself. Amber, let me know if you can hear me. That'll be my test there. Amber, if you're saying something, I don't hear you. Okay, did I mute everybody? Let's see. Okay, press star 6, Amber. Kristen, if you can hear me, press star 6. Okay, try that now. I unmuted you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, good. I was checking to see if I could get you guys unmuted. All right. I thought you guys could press star 6, but either way, we're clear now. So if anyone has any questions right now or comments for the first part of balancing your schedule, let's go ahead and get that out of the way before we move to the second part of the call. So now that I've unmuted everybody, if you have any questions, let's do that now. All right, so I guess we're good. I don't know how to do this. Okay, there we go. Goodness gracious, me and these prompts tonight. Okay, now we just finished talking about ways to balance your schedule. Focus. Only put 3 things on, no more than 3 things on your schedule per day. Use your electronic tools, your voicemail, your email, text message, autoresponders help put parameters in place, okay? Our second part of the call tonight is how to advertise your dream. The reason I think this topic is important is because so many of us are so afraid to get out and tell people we are in business and buy stuff from us, okay? Of course, nobody wants you just to say, hey, I'm open for business, buy stuff from me. However, you do your craft, whatever it is, and you're good at that, you just shy away from marketing and selling yourself. And that's going to take some practice until the point it becomes comfortable to you. Because when you provide a service that people need, you don't necessarily have to say, hey, buy this. You just present it to them, show them what it does for them, and let them make the decision about using it. Now, if you're not having enough people come to you to buy your services, you really just need to get in front of more people. And that's the basic thing. So if you are telling people about your business and they think you have a good service and it's on your social media and you have a few thousand people on your social media or a few hundred if you're just starting, that's not enough people when you look at the numbers game. If you're going to take 10% of that potentially being your customer base. And a lot of us on social media are on there with our family. Our family is not our target audience, chances are. So you need to continue to go to different events, be on different social media sites. And I'm going to skip because one of the points I have tonight is leverage others. I'm going to go ahead and jump to that one. You want to leverage other people's networks. One of the things that's helped me in business is finding other people that don't quite do the same thing I do, that add value to me, and I'm able to add value to them in our relationship as business partners or business associates, and we cross-promote for each other. What that really means is I'm going to introduce your people to my people, introduce you to my people, and you're going to introduce me to your people. And we're going to pump each other up, we're going to support each other, and we're going to do that for a period of time. How you do that, you find somebody that you admire, hopefully they admire you too, you guys talk about it, and see how you can work together. For myself, I have a radio show that I do Monday through Friday. And I have an associate, Rhonda Nels, and at the time we met, she was doing a magazine. We both needed content for our businesses, so I wrote for her magazine, and she became a commentator on my radio show. Now, in turn, what that did for the both of us is got our names out in different mediums. I'm on radio, she's in a magazine, so we were able to give each other that equally. And as time went on, she did a workshop. I hosted one of her workshops for her, and it began to give me more exposure because I had the opportunity to speak at one of her workshops. So you want a relationship with someone where you can benefit and where they can benefit. It cannot be one-sided because it will not last if it's one-sided. So be consistent in what you're doing. So let's say, let me back up. When you're leveraging somebody's network, you're getting in front of their people, they're introducing you, they're endorsing you. You want to put a time limit on that, maybe 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, a year. And then at whatever period of time that you've established, at the end, you want to reevaluate and say, hey, did this work out for you? And you'll know if it did or not, because somebody will pull back if it's not working for them. They won't post for you like they're supposed to. Whatever your agreement is, they'll stop doing it. So that's a sign that somebody's unhappy if they didn't say it, okay? If you find that you're tired, I'm not really wanting to do magazines anymore. I think I want to do newspapers, whatever the change is. Unless that person has a newspaper, which I'm just giving as an example, and I no longer want to do magazine content, then you move on. And you want to leave with a good taste in your mouth. One person may have really enjoyed it, and I've had that. I've had